Sometimes functions are represented by graphs. So here we have a graph, this red curve here in the coordinate plane, and we're told that it represents the function f because we've got this y equals f of x here. This f is our function name. And x, as usual, is our input variable. And what this graph means is that if I pick any point on the curve, the x-coordinate is the input value, and the y-coordinate at that point, let me straighten that out, the y-coordinate is the output. So input, output, and so if the input was x, the output would be f of x. So this point here, its coordinates are x, comma, f of x. So the graph of a function, it's all points in the plane that are given by x, comma, f of x, input, comma, output. And so we can use that to find outputs if we know the inputs. So let's use this graph to evaluate f at the input. Let's go with 1 first. So let's find f of 1. So how we do this is we look for the x value 1. The input is on the x-axis, right? So this is our input axis, and our outputs are the y-axis. All right, so we're looking for the input 1. So x-axis, we go to the 1 here. And then we look for the curve. We got to go down to get to this red curve. So we're just going to draw a vertical line straight down until we hit this curve, put a dot there. And then, so we know the input is 1, and we want to figure out what the height is so we can tell the output. So we drag a line over, and it's kind of hidden there, but we're at this -3 here. So this is 1, comma, -3. 1 is our input, and -3 is our output. So what this is telling us is that f of 1 equals -3. Input 1, output -3. All right, we can do this with any number on the x-axis below the curve or above the curve. All right, so if we evaluate f at 3, we're looking for f of 3. So we go back to our curve. So we're looking for input 3. That's the 3 on the x-axis. So we draw a line straight up until we hit the red curve. We draw a dot. And then we look for the height of this point. So the y-coordinate, go over to the y-axis, and we're at the 3. So this is kind of a coincidence. We're at 3, comma 3. Input 3, output 3. So, but that's okay. We can still have that. It's f of 3 equals 3. And we can also evaluate at negative numbers. If we evaluate f at -1, same idea. So our input is -1. This time we go to -1 on the x-axis. That's over here. If we want to get from -1 on the x-axis to our curve, we draw a line straight down, put a dot, and then look for the y-coordinate. We draw a line over, and we're at -1 again. So here, so lots of symmetry here. Input -1, output -1 again. All right.